All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're exploring how one visionary founder completely bridged that massive gap between writing basic, everyday code and building hardcore, enterprise-grade systems for the African continent. We're going to trace the exact journey of transforming simple software scripts into robust, highly scalable platforms that real-world hospitals, pharmacies, and businesses literally run their daily operations on.
Here is our blueprint for today. First, we'll look at the production gap. Second, engineering for reality. Third, enterprise scale management. Fourth, the AI advantage. And finally, building the next generation. It's a deep dive into how software grows up.
Section 1. The production gap. Moving way beyond just following tutorials.
Look, we've got to confront a hard truth right out of the gate. Knowing how to write a Python script is absolutely not the same thing as knowing how to build a system. Think about the massive difference between tutorial code and actual production code. Tutorials feel great, right? You globally install a package, you throw in some print statements, and it works on your machine. But in the real world, that is a catastrophic habit. Real production environments demand strict discipline. Things like isolated virtual environments, exact dependency files, and structured logging. So, what does this all boil down to? Production is about determinism. When real users and real businesses depend on your software, you simply cannot afford chaos. You need the exact same dependencies and the exact same predictable behavior every single time you deploy. But reaching that production level? Well, that's not the finish line. It's really just the starting point. Because as your software actually starts to grow, the whole game changes. At a small scale, your biggest bottlenecks are usually just simple bugs. But at an enterprise scale, your bottlenecks become performance, concurrency, data integrity, and deployment speed. An architecture that worked beautifully for 10 users might completely collapse at 10,000. At that level, bugs aren't your main opponent anymore. Complexity is.
Moving on to Section 2, Engineering for Reality. 24 years of solving actual, on-the-ground problems.
Enter Meganet Software, founded by Frederick Ugimi way back in 2001. Now, Frederick actually started programming professionally with a language called Clarion. And very early on, he noticed a massive fundamental flaw in the market. Everyone was trying to force-fit foreign business applications into Nigeria, and those tools simply didn't understand the local context. They completely misunderstood the banking systems, the infrastructure constraints, and the highly unique record-keeping habits of the region.
And that realization sparked an incredibly powerful philosophy. We don't build for the world despite being in Nigeria. We build for the world because we are in Nigeria. I absolutely love that. It's the emotional core of his entire 24-year engineering journey. It's a statement packed with confidence and deep, deep local roots.
Because software is only useful if it actually solves the problem right in front of you, not some theoretical textbook problem from another hemisphere. Meganet builds specifically for the Naira economy. They build for strict local compliance, and crucially, they built for offline-first connectivity. Because if the internet goes down, a hospital can't just stop treating patients, right? Frederick learned this by sitting directly with hospital admins and pharmacy owners and asking, okay, what is actually broken here?
Section 3, Enterprise Scale Management. Eliminating inefficiency.
Think about the stark reality for local pharmacy owners for a second. They are literally losing money daily to hidden costs. We're talking undetected stock shrinkage, where drugs are misplaced or even stolen. We're talking expired drugs just sitting uselessly on shelves because nobody tracked them properly. Inaccurate records that lead to terrible purchasing decisions. These aren't just minor annoyances. These are massive business-killing inefficiencies. So how does Meganet fix this? By building highly targeted, automated ecosystems. They developed Pharmacy Pro to handle complex drug inventory and strict NAVTEC compliance. They built Hospital Pro as an offline-first electronic medical record system, ensuring hospitals literally never lose access to critical patient data. And they tied it all together with Meganet ERP to unify analytics across multiple branches. These aren't just lightweight apps. They are heavyweight, production-grade systems engineered for absolute survival in the Nigerian market.
Which brings us to Section 4, the AI advantage. Intelligence meets action.
Here's a wild thought. Hospitals aren't just struggling to generate revenue, they are actively failing to protect the revenue they already have. Millions are lost not because patients aren't walking through the doors, but because money is slipping right through the cracks of manual, fragmented systems. Billing errors, operational gaps, massive process failures, it all adds up fast.
And that is exactly why MegaNet Revenue Guard was built. We're not talking about some standard manual audit software here. This is an AI-powered revenue assurance platform. It acts as a tireless digital auditor, continuously hunting down that lost money and telling administrators exactly where their revenue is leaking in real time.
And they certainly don't stop at healthcare. With tools like BizLens, AI isn't just a tech buzzword, it's a highly practical, everyday tool. BizLens is a custom Gemini AI gem that acts like a personalized intelligence analyst, built directly into the context of Nigerian business. You feed it your data and boom, it gives you instant expert-level intelligence. It completely bridges the gap between raw, messy data and actionable strategy.
Finally, Section 5, Building the Next Generation, Mentorship and Community.
You see, Frederick's mission extends far, far beyond just shipping enterprise software products. He is heavily focused on opening doors through structured tech education. That's exactly why he leads PyLadies Rivers, an official chapter of PyLadies Global that actively supports women and non-binary people in Python programming and open-source development.
Through community building with PyLadies Rivers, MegaNet is proving that hands-on mentorship matters just as much as code. Watching someone write their very first line of Python and seeing that spark when they realize they have the power to build things is honestly just as impactful to the region's future as launching a massive enterprise system.
But behind all of this, the 24 years of coding, the community building, the AI development, is something deeply personal. Through the really slow seasons and the periods of massive explosive growth, Frederick attributes his endurance to a deep faith that informs absolutely everything he builds. It's the quiet, unshakable foundation that keeps the whole mission steady.
Which leaves us with a critical question to think about. What actually happens when you stop just writing scripts and you start engineering for the true reality of your environment? Whether you're a solo developer just learning Python or a startup founder looking to scale, this is the ultimate takeaway. You have to build for the world right in front of you. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope this deep dive leaves you inspired to look at your own code and your own environment in an entirely new light.